5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down the top 5. Brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Tony Schiavone wanted to talk about the top 5 most underrated WCW segments that fans forgot about. That's an interesting one. The top 5 most underrated segments that fans forgot about. Coming in at number 5 on Tony's list is the Dangerous Alliance's TV takeover. Talk to me about this one, Tony.
Well, let me say this first of all. Okay. I forgot a lot of WCW stuff.
Sure.
So there's a lot of this that I don't remember. And so I looked at this and I thought, yeah, why not? Because I don't remember it. So there you go. I put it on there.
All right. Well, there you go. It was so good. Tony doesn't remember it. Number 4, Cactus Jack's Lost in Cleveland vignettes. Do you remember that, or do you have the same level of Cactus Jack amnesia?
No. Here's what I remember about that. Tim Schiavone, who's 37 years old now, played Cactus Jack's long lost son. And we told Tim when we shot this, we said, Tim, listen, when Cactus Jack says, what's your name? You've got to say, I'm Tim. And so I think Cactus Jack looked down at Tim and he said, what's your name? He said, you know who I am. Just like that. And we had to redo it once again. And John Michael was with us as well. And we were downtown Atlanta. And this is just my part of it that I remember. And John Michael ran in front of a fucking car and almost got hit. Those two things I remember because we had the kids in it. So, but, to me that I think a lot of people shit on this. Do you remember that? Okay.
They do shit on this. Yeah.
Yeah, they did shit on this, but I thought Mick played a hell of a role in it. I thought only someone like Mick Foley could pull this off. And I thought it was pretty good, to be honest with you. That Mick Foley would have amnesia and would be lost and would be found again. And why not a good place in Cleveland to be lost in?
Coming in at number 3 on Tony's top 5 most underrated forgotten segments is the Goldberg Raven U.S. title match. This went down in 1998. This is in advance, of course, of Goldberg beating Hulk Hogan for the world title. But this one makes your list. What about this one stands out to you, Tony?
I think what made this so good was, first of all, it was a great match. Number 1. And I just think that it was one of those matches that helped make Goldberg the star that he became. And it showed us that Goldberg could do a lot more than just growl and spear and jackhammer. And I think Raven gave him a hell of a match. So I think if you're looking at the stair steps where Goldberg becomes a star, I think you got to look at this match as one of them.
Yeah, listen, it was an incredible match. I agree with you. I do remember, Raven had a lot of momentum coming out of his match with TDP. He had just won the title, and the next night Goldberg beats him for it. I would have liked to have seen Raven get some sort of a push, but man, Goldberg at that point had become undeniable, don't you think?
Yeah, I think I think you're exactly right. I think that we WCW realized what we had there, and you had to continue to push him. And even you go back, and I don't want to cast any shadows or bad words towards Vince Russo, because Vince Russo and I are still friends, and even though I haven't talked to Vince in years, I still have a warm spot in my heart for him because of how he depended on me. But the taser and him losing and him becoming a heel just kind of, to me, took away the momentum that he had as Bill Goldberg. But this was the rise of the momentum of Bill Goldberg. And I think it shows just how great of a wrestler Raven is. There's a certain thing about wrestling that fans sometimes forget, and that is to be a great wrestler, you don't have to be able to do these great spots. You just have to make your opponent look great. And that's one of the things Ric Flair always did. And that's one of the things, if you think about some of the Shawn Michaels matches, he made his opponents look great because he knew how to sell. He knew how to do things. And Raven was uh, in that group. So kudos to Raven for helping that match. Boy, it was 1998. Holy shit.
We're getting old, bud. We're getting old.
Woo. Not kidding.
Number 2 on Tony's top 5 list of the best forgotten moments in WCW, Brian Pillman's loose cannon interview. Talk to me about this one.
Well, there was a point to where these interviews were being done that we really weren't sure if Brian had snapped or not. To the point to where Heenan was scared to death of him. And of course, it all culminated in what happened in Las Vegas on Clash of the Champions when Brian Pillman goes out of the ring and grabs Bobby Heenan. But we all kind of thought that Brian had snapped, and maybe he was just so good at what he was doing that he fooled all of us, to the point to where, sometimes you're backstage and a guy does something and y'all go, hey, great job, fist bump afterwards. Brian wasn't like that. Brian made it really seem like that he was nuts as much backstage as he did out in the ring. So this was this made us forget Flying Brian with the Cincinnati Bengal trunks, and made us think about Brian Pillman, the loose cannon. Played it perfectly, man. Perfectly. Others tried to do it and they couldn't do it. I mean, I could see through most everything. And to the point to where I still think when Vince Russo came out at Bash of the Beach, was it 90, whatever, 90, 99 or whatever? Remember we did that promo on Hulk Hogan?
Oh yeah.
Called Hulk Hogan a piece of shit. I still think today it's a work. Sorry, I do.
Bash at the Beach 2000, you think was a work just to get Hulk Hogan a payday?
Yep. It was just a work. And even Russo called me about it and said, you really think this is a work? I said, absolutely, I do. But Brian Pillman, I didn't think was. And so there you go.
Coming in at number 1 on Tony Schiavone's top 5 best underrated, most forgotten WCW moments that fans forgot about. No surprise, Arn Anderson's retirement promo. Not just any spot, my spot. It was so emotional to see Ric Flair just bawling his eyes out right behind him.
Right.
It felt real because it was real. How does this land in the number 1 spot for you?
Because it's Arn Anderson, and because I was there when his career took off, and there when we formed the Horsemen, there when Arn first walked into the backstage area with Crockett's, where we did the local promos with the New York Yankees hat on and met him for the first time. We immediately became friends, and my love and respect for Arn Anderson makes me think this is one of the great moments. I don't know if it's forgotten or not. It may be forgotten by many fans, but if you were a Four Horsemen fan and Arn Anderson fan, I'm sure you remember this. Arn Anderson always was one of the, if not the greatest talker ever. Didn't shout, but when he had to raise his voice, it meant something. And he was funny. He was timely. He was a friend. And it was just a very, very emotional moment for all of us, knowing that was the end of what was a spectacular career that really, if you think about it, probably was just kind of like only 12 years in the making. If you think about 85, and I know he wrestled before that, I get that, but on a national level, from 85 up until 97, 12 years ain't much.
No, it's not.
So it to me, it signaled a good friend ending his career long before it was due, and we're still close to this day. So that is my number one moment by far.
Well, there you go. Those are Tony Schiavone's top 5 best forgotten moments. We want to hear from you in the comments. Let us know below. What are some of your forgotten favorite moments in WCW that you don't think anybody talks about anymore? SaveWithConrad.com.
My name is Rajiv. I'm in Sacramento, California. I came to Save with Conrad because I've heard Conrad talk about how he helps people all the time save money and the best route to go for getting some mortgages and finances done. And having heard so many different testimonials in the past, it made the most sense to go this route. We were in the market for a new house and we wanted to know what we could afford. So we spoke with Steve and then Diane to get through the pre-approval process to see what we could afford. And then once we were able to understand that aspect of it, that was when we were able to shop around for a house to get a mortgage through Save with Conrad. Everybody on the team was great. Everybody really explained everything fully to where it was more in like layman's terms to where I could understand it as someone not in the business or having shopped around for houses too many times. So being able to understand every step of the process and talking with everyone on the team about that was really, really helpful. And it made me feel really confident that I was going the right route. I would definitely recommend Save with Conrad to others. I know that sometimes people look at it and they go, oh, they're based in Alabama. What could they help me with? But I'm out here in California and they were able to square everything away and get things done really quickly, as opposed to sometimes even people out here don't move as quickly as the Save with Conrad team. So everything was really well done, really efficient, and I would definitely recommend Save with Conrad to others. My name is Rajiv. I'm in Sacramento, California, and I was able to get into my dream home with SaveWithConrad.com.
That's number 212, non-equal housing lender. SaveWithConrad.com.